Hi there, everyone. I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, and you're here for Friday Night Live. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so looking forward to this. So, thank all of you for joining me tonight. Let me get my camera all lined up. I hope you're all doing really well. I've been reading all your comments and questions in the dialogue box that goes by. I'll try to get to all of those. I'm really glad you're here. I'm back home from Florida. I had a great time. I'll try to share some details about the trip during this video. And then I also am going to do a vlog. I did some filming while I was gone, and I'm going to try to put a little trip vlog together, and I hope that'll be fun for you. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me and see me okay, and if everything's good. Hello, hello, hello. Anybody want to give me a thumbs up? I know it's probably a delay a little bit. I've got lots of questions. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you, Mel. Oh, hi, Mel. Mel C from Mel C's Beauty is here. I love her channel. I hope you'll check it out. I'm glad you guys are here. I have lots of questions to answer. I've got my little show and tell box as usual with all my stuff. And I have a few new things I want to share with you. So I'm really happy about that. First of all, let me try to remember some of the questions that were in the chat. One of them was, did I have a good time in Florida? The answer is absolutely. I'll tell you what, though, that's a long drive. And a lot of you have asked me if I went by myself, and the answer is yes. I did go by myself, and I travel by myself really fine. I actually traveled full time out of the country for a year and then back in the country for another year by myself, and I had a great time. So I don't have any problem doing that. Everything went really smoothly. I have some things that I do when I travel to kind of make it easier and to make sure that I'm safe and my possessions are safe and that sort of thing. And I can talk about those in another video if you guys are interested. So hello from, South Florida, Tampa, Arizona, Oklahoma. I drove through Oklahoma. South Florida, Houston, Mississippi, went through Mississippi, did not go through New Zealand. Welcome, New Zealand. Hi from Kentucky. Hello, and nice to see you here. I'm going to go ahead and jump in on a topic that a lot of you have messaged me about or emailed me about, and it's a little bit of one that I have shied away from. Because in general, I don't like to talk in a non-complimentary way about a company. If a company is participating in what I call fraudulent business practices, I have no problem calling them out. But if it's a company that I think is really doing their best or trying to bring a good product to market and it just really didn't work for me, I would rather just not mention it than talk bad about them. So this is something that I've been kind of avoiding, but so many of you have messaged me about it or emailed me that I thought I'd go ahead and share it. You guys know that the radio frequency device that I use is the Nebulyft. I love this thing. And when I say I love this thing, I love this thing. It is so cool. This was not the first radio frequency device I tried. The very first one I tried was the NIRA. And the NIRA is very well known. It's been out on the market for a while. And the NIRA was the first radio frequency device that I tried. And I'll tell you what, the first time I used it, I was absolutely blown away. I mean, it looked like someone had ironed my face. That's how good it looked. I don't have the NIRA here to show you anymore. I don't own them anymore. With the NIRA, unlike the Nebulyft, with the Nebulyft, you just turn it on, select your intensity, and then rub it over your face. With the NIRA, there's actually a light sensor on the device that shows you if the device itself is at the appropriate temperature for it to be effective. My experience with the NIRA was I could never get that temperature to modulate correctly. For me, it would be either not hot enough or so hot that it actually burned my skin. And it was really frustrating for me because I tried everything and I tested it probably for 2 months. When I could get it to work, it really did a wonderful job on my face, like a radio frequency device can do. But I had such a hard time. There would be times that I would do a full session and never get the lights to light up to show that it was at the appropriate temperature for it to be effective. What I did, because I really wanted to like it, it's a good company. What I did is I contacted the company and I told them about the issue. I sent that unit back. They sent me a new one, and the new one did the exact same thing. So the reason that I picked the Nebulyft as the one that I really am using over the NIRA is because I could never get the NIRA to modulate the heat in a way that wasn't problematic. And you guys know, anything that's fussy is not going to stay in my life. I just don't have the patience for it. And the other thing with the NIRA is I would need to do it in front of the mirror so that I could actually see if the lights were lighting up in the appropriate manner. With the Nebulyft, I don't have to do that. I can sit down in front of a YouTube video and do this. Now, here's the thing. The NIRA is less expensive. I don't think it's much less expensive, but it's less expensive than the Nebulyft. However, I feel like the Nebulyft is worth it because I've never had any trouble with this at all. Not at all. And I love this. This has never gotten too hot. It's never gotten too cool. It works. It acts like a massager while it's doing the radio frequency treatment. So I really love this one. And that's the story of why I don't talk about the NIRA or I don't use the NIRA, because I just never could work properly for me. So there you have it. I hope that's helpful. Oh, you have a Nebulyft too. Bex from Texas. Yeah, I love mine. Keeping safe while traveling alone. That is something I'm going to embark on very, very soon. I really have some great tips on that. Maybe I'll do a separate live on that because I think it's a pretty specific topic for people. So maybe I'll do a live video on what I do to keep safe, how I keep my money, how I travel in general. I traveled quite a bit, and most of it has been on my own. So I've learned some tricks that are pretty handy. Would you tell and show my exercise routine? I will. I'm actually flirting with the idea of adding some exercise videos. I just don't, it's like I'm not super thin and super fit, but I think I'm in good shape. It's just that I'm not super thin, how that is. Anyway, all right, so let's go on to the next thing. Somebody asked about my 11s, and I want to show you guys because I'm so excited about this. This is one product that I'm crazy about, absolutely crazy about. And I want you to look right here, right here. See how my 11s are showing up? And they weren't doing that for a long time. And you can see right over here on the side of my face, see how that's folding over a little bit on my eye? I realize it's not very much, but it's more than it was. So look at that right here. Can you see that? That wasn't doing that a while ago. If you go back and look at my 2-year results video, you'll see that these are not there. And you know what got those away? Our Duralene. I am not kidding you. That stuff is Botox in a bottle. It is amazing. And I was really probably skeptical when I started using it. And I got a bottle from The Ordinary. Truly, you guys, it's like $7.90 at Ulta. It's so inexpensive. And I used it right here and right here, just like you would if you got Botox. And I used it for about 6 months. The bottle lasts a long time. And I thought, you know what? I don't really know if it's doing anything. And I put it away into my empties bucket and I didn't reorder it. And oh my gosh, it was like 2 weeks later, I could really, really tell what a difference it was making in my face. Now, what I did, because I was out and I wanted to take some Duralene with me on my trip to Florida, And I knew Ulta or The Ordinary couldn't get it here fast enough for me, so I ordered some off of Amazon because they said they were going to get it to me in time for me to get it before I left. Well, they didn't. But this is another brand. I think it's called Afterwood, and it's the argireline solution, and I think it has hyaluronic acid and a couple of other things in here. This is what I've been using. Now, I wasn't able to take it on my trip, but I've been using it since I got home. I don't know if this is going to be as effective as the argireline from The Ordinary. And this was more expensive. This is like $11.40 or something like that. So it's more expensive than The Ordinary. If you're thinking about getting an argireline solution, I would just go right to The Ordinary and get theirs. I mean, for $7 or $8, what a difference it has made in my 11s and in my crow's feet on the sides of my face. Now, here's the thing with argireline. If you talk to a dermatologist, or I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube that say argireline will not work. The molecules in this are not small enough to actually to be able to penetrate the muscle to have the effect that they say it's going to have. Well, you know what? That's not true, because it certainly worked for me. And this is the issue that I find a lot with skincare. And I swear to you guys, I'm thinking about doing a video called Skincare Lies, because I have heard so many statements about skincare that have turned out to be absolutely not true for me. In other words, my experience is completely different than what a lot of dermatologists or doctors will tell you. And what I think it is it's not so much that they're being dishonest or they're trying to be misleading. I think it's simply that there's not a lot of studies done. I mean, who's going to do a study on argireline? There's no money in it. So how could you pay for a study? No one's going to make a bazillion dollars on it. So why are they going to do a study? The fact is that it worked for me. It worked beautifully. And so a lot of times we'll hear that this won't work, or you can't improve your neck, or you can't fix your face and make it look more youthful with just topical products. I have found a lot of those to not be true. So as far as I'm concerned, this argireline is Botox in a bottle. I'm going to go ahead and use this for a little while and see if this brand works. However, again, I don't think it's worth it to get this when you can just go to The Ordinary, and I know that works really well, and it's actually cheaper. So, Charlotte, it works. Did it work for you? I'm curious to see that. Would argireline work on upper lip area? You know, Jane, if you're talking about the lines on your upper lip, what I would, based on my experience, what I would recommend is you derma roll it. You can get a little 0.25 derma roller and just derma roll that area around your mouth. I do it once a week on Sunday nights, and what you want to do is you want to build up collagen in that area so those lines will soften. Now, the lines are probably not ever going to go away altogether, but they will soften. And by derma rolling that area, you're really going to promote collagen growth in that area and really help it. Now, the radio frequency will do the same thing. The red light will do the same thing. So there's a lot of ways to kind of treat that lip area to get it to soften. But I would say derma rolling is the easiest and the least expensive of all of those. Okay, so let's get to some of the questions. I have them on my phone here that you guys sent in. This might be a long one, you guys. I hope that you're all comfortable and everything. Okay, the first question is from Anna and says, hello, Kimberly, can you give us an update on your lashes, and are you still using the lash serum? Okay, so you guys can see my lashes right here. And yes, I'm still using the lash serum. And if you guys haven't seen this, this is from V Beauty. It's their eyelash growth serum right here. And you can get this right off of Amazon. I think it's $20-something a tube. Sometimes it goes on sale. When it goes on sale, I buy a few of them because I like to save a few dollars. This has really, really made a huge difference in my lashes. If you go back and look at videos from like a year ago, and then look at videos from just a few weeks ago, you'll see a tremendous difference in the length and volume of my lashes, and it's from this. Now, keep in mind, some people have sensitivity to this type of serum. I've had some people message me and say that it created irritation, or they couldn't use it, or this and that. Mostly, I've heard from people that it's worked really well and their lashes are so much longer. So keep in mind with this, as with a lot of things, it may not work for you, but it's definitely worth giving a try if you want to have longer lashes. So Be Beauty, you can find it right on Amazon. I actually have the links down below. I tried to link up all the stuff I was going to talk about today down below, so you can find it down below. Okay, so will you do a video on your hiking and kayaking adventures? Yes, I will. And I was just getting ready to do that about, oh gosh, 6 or 8 weeks ago. And then the fire started, and it was so smoky here for so long. We really, where I live, we had the worst air quality in the whole United States. It was, 165 particles is unhealthful. We were over 400. It was so bad, which is why I finally just got sick of it and got in the car and went to Florida. So that's it. Your hands are oh, thank you. Your hands are beautiful. What do you do for them? I do exactly for my hands what I do for my face. And what that is that I'll put a serum on, put it on my face, down my neck, onto my décolleté, and then onto the back of my hands. And what I've really noticed, and you can see my hands right here. Now I'm 64, and the age spots on my hands are really not very noticeable. They were before I started my skincare routine. So I can say that, they look like an older woman's hands, but my age spots really look pretty good. So just put on your hands what you put on your face. Works really well. All righty. So the next question is from Janice Miller, and she wants to know how many days, she's so cute. She said, how many days of your trip did you wear makeup? And the answer is 0. Absolutely none. I packed a whole bunch of makeup. I packed a full face of makeup, all my favorite makeup. I packed all my skincare devices. Well, not all of them. I took my smaller red light unit, my Nebulyft, and my NuFace, because my MyoLift, now I'm forgetting the name of it, but my MyoLift was bigger. So I thought I'll just take the NuFace. And you know how many times I did my devices? One time. Other than that, and I never wore makeup. But I'll tell you what I did do. I wore this Dermatology, and this is a fairly new product for me. It's their Physical Tinted Moisturizer SPF 44. I wore this on my skin, and I wore this lipstick from Huda Beauty. This is all I wore the whole time. I'm telling you what, I'm not kidding you one little bit. This puts such a beautiful finish on your skin. I used to wear the Australian Gold Botanical on my face when I wasn't going to wear makeup for the day. I don't anymore. I'm wearing this. This is so beautiful. Can you see that? It's a little bit glossy or a little bit glowy. It is so pretty on the skin. And it stays like that throughout the day. So I would just put this on right here and put on this lipstick. You guys, I'm having a problem with the Huda Beauty lipsticks. This is the lipstick in Buttercup that I wore. And I'll put this over on the side. I wonder if I can get it over here. And that's what I wore the whole time I was in Florida, and even traveling. So what I can say is this is really great. And it's their Physical Tinted Moisturizer. I hadn't used it before. I have a coupon code for this. This is not drugstore price. I think it's like mid-20s, but with my coupon code, it brings it really way down. And so this is I can't read it. Anyway, this is how much it's in the bottle. You can see it right there. Alrighty, so that's what I wore. hardly did any skincare. I did my morning and my evening routines and put on my moisturizer. Other than that, no, I didn't wear makeup. So I don't know, just wasn't in the mood, I guess. Let's see. Next question. Okay, this question is a good one and something that maybe a lot of us are thinking about. It's from Veda Hamrick, and she's wanting to know about seasonal anxiety disorder and if a red light unit could help with that. And you know what? Based on my recollection, when I was researching red light, I'm pretty sure that studies have shown that it has a positive impact on seasonal disorder. A lot of people, when the sun is not shining as much, they have a little problem with depression. And, that's natural because we're not getting the vitamin D, we're not getting all that stuff from the sun. What I would recommend is that you just research it, seasonal anxiety disorder and red light therapy. What I can remember from when I was researching is that it did have a positive impact. Here's what I can say about red light. It is without a doubt, hands down, the one device that I would say if you're only going to get one, get that one. Because not only is it really, really good for improving the look of your skin and helping with fine lines and wrinkles, it is so healthful for your body. What it does is it generates ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate, which is the spark or the fire that fires up all the healing in your body. It is so, so very, very healthful. It is something that you can use on your face and on your neck. And I sit in front of mine every single morning for 10 minutes. But if you end up with a sore knee, or if you have a child that's got a flu bug, or if your husband is having back issues, anything, that red light is going to be so good and so healthful. And as far as which one to get, I use the MITO red light. I like them because they have really, really good devices and they are at a really, really good price. I price compared before I selected one. They're really good and they're really priced well. What I can say is get as much as you can comfortably afford, because with red light, power matters. And if you can go up to a device that might be a little bit more expensive, but it has more light frequencies, that's only going to be more healthful for you. So red light is without a doubt so healthful. And I think being healthy is really what we want. It's like playing with makeup is fun, playing with, clothes are fun, but being healthy is really what we want. So that's my comment on red light. Red light is a miracle in healing down to the cellular level. It really, really is, Melinda. That's exactly true. Seasonal affective disorder. You're right, Maria. Thank you. Eye safety with the red light. Yeah, all the red lights, they come with these little eye things. And I just put those on and sit in front of it. Can you please recommend a handheld red light? You know what? I'm sorry, I can't, because the difference between the output of a handheld device or even those devices that go over your face, if you put one of those up against my red light unit, this is like a sparkler. My red light unit is like the finale of a fireworks show. There is no comparison between a really good red light panel and a handheld device or one of those little face devices. In addition, when you've got those little face devices, you can't put it on your knee. You can't put it on your back. You can't put it on hair areas that you're trying to grow hair. You can't do all those different things. It's not as flexible for usage as the panel unit. So that's why I'm in love with the panel units. I think they're so, so very, very good for us. Have you found, let's see, Melinda wants to know, have you found anything that keeps your lips super hydrated and keeps lipstick on? Well, you can hydrate your lips and keep lipstick on at the same time, because this Kapari is really nice. And I just picked it out of my little basket that I keep it on my couch. I like my Kapari. I like my City Lips Clear Plumping Lip Gloss. That is really good because it stays on really, really well. And then I've got a little one in my bedroom that I can't show right now because I'd have to run back there and get it. I'm forgetting the name of it. Maybe I'll think of it in a minute. I like that one too. So those are ones that I like. Okay, yarn chick. Oh my gosh, yarn chick. I'm a yarn chick too. I've got a yarn problem. You guys, I do. It's like I'm always crocheting something. You mentioned that you are reformulating your DIY vitamin C serum. I do have the recipe in a rough formula. Here's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to be doing a video in the next couple of weeks on this. It's the same vitamin C, the basic serum, but what mine was missing was the E and the ferulic acid, which studies have shown make the vitamin C work better or is more efficacious. What I'm going to do is I'm going to formulate one. I bought some vitamin E oil. So I'm going to add some vitamin E oil. So make the regular vitamin C serum, just like it is on my DIY video. Add a little bit of vitamin E oil, and you can get that right off of Amazon. Make sure you get like an organic, good vitamin E oil. Pick something good. And then the Ordinary has resveratrol, which is an antioxidant with ferulic acid, and put some of that resveratrol in the vitamin C. So that gives us vitamin C, vitamin E, the resveratrol, which is a really good antioxidant, and the ferulic acid in a DIY formula is going to be so inexpensive. So I'll do a full video on that, but if you want to march ahead and just put together a little formula on your think it's going to matter as far as the efficacy, how much of the ferulic acid and the resveratrol you put in and the vitamin E. I think you just need some of it. So it's not going to be one of those exact things. And keep in mind with the basic vitamin C formula itself is that you can up the vitamin C powder to the distilled water to make it stronger or weaker depending on. So it's kind of like cooking. You can kind of put in what you want. You can add more of this ingredient and more of that ingredient, depending on what's going to work for you. So hope that's helpful. Okay, I want to share something with you guys right now. This is not a question, but it's a tip. And before I tell you though, I'm not a doctor. You have a yarn problem too? Oh my God, I buy way too much yarn. I bought yarn while I was on my trip because I would sit in my hotel room at night and crochet or my Airbnb. All right, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice, but I want to share something with you. When I got home from my trip and I got back on Monday evening, and Tuesday and Wednesday, I just wasn't feeling energetic. In other words, I wasn't wanting to exercise. I wasn't wanting to do a lot of stuff. I was just sort of wanting to sit on the couch. Well, Thursday morning, I woke up, I had one cup of coffee, and boy, by golly, it hit me. I was so sick. I had stomach problems. I had body aches, and those kind of body aches, you guys, that they hurt. My body ached so bad. My hair hurt. My eyes hurt. I was in bed, couldn't move, couldn't get out of bed. I was just down for it. And it was really, it was, my body has not, those body aches that you can get when you kind of have a stomach flu kind of thing or some kind of flu. It hurt so bad. I was just miserable. And then I remembered that I had bought this. This is an over-the-counter supplement from a naturopathic doctor that I follow. She's so good. I bought her book. I've done her cleanses, the whole thing. And she had recommended this for body aches, headache, fever, chills, fatigue. She said this was really good. And I know you can't read that. It's backwards. And I can't even pronounce it. It's oscilloconstant. I don't know. Anyway, I was laying in bed so sick yesterday. I thought I'm going to have to cancel the live because I can't see how I'm going to feel okay to be able to do it. Well, I remembered I had this. I started taking this, and it's really a different kind of I don't even know if I want to call it medication. It's definitely, naturopathic, homeopathic medication. It's not a prescription. It's just like Advil or, ibuprofen or that sort of thing. You can just get it off of Amazon. It comes in a little tube, and it's like Pop Rocks. You put them in your mouth, you dissolve them in your mouth, and so I took one, and you take it every 6 hours. I took one, I took it 6 hours later, and I took it 6 hours later, and oh my gosh, you guys, I feel like my old self. It was so effective. So if you haven't heard of this, and if you think you might be getting, even aches and pains or a cold or something for the flu season that's coming up, I can highly recommend this. I've got it listed and linked down below. So anyway, just a little tip, not medical advice, just sharing my experience. Good recommendations. This is from Marlene Cook. Good recommendations on good anti-aging serums, please. Thank you very much. Those are really, really easy to find over on my channel. The very, very best place for you to look for the best serums that I recommend are my 2-year results video. And what you'll find there is that from my experience, you do not need expensive skincare to make a huge difference in your skin. Truly, I used mostly products from The Ordinary, and we all know that they're super, super inexpensive, and other products. Most of the products that I use are under $25. I only use a couple of products that are more than that, and I call those really kind of my vanity skincare. I use the Invisicrepe body balm on my neck. It really made a huge difference on my neck. Every now and then I'll splurge and get the copper peptide serum from NIRA, which is the sister company to The Ordinary. But other than that, everything I use is very, very affordable. What you want to focus on is first of all, getting in the habit of taking care of your skin. Take 5 or 6 weeks and just clean your skin, exfoliate your skin, moisturize, and sunscreen. And once you get in the habit of doing that and you've gotten all the old dead skin cells off your face that have built up over the years, when I first started, I did it all wrong. I just threw a whole bunch of stuff on my face, and you know what? It probably just sat there because I had so much old dead skin on my face that needed to come off, and so I could actually treat the fresh new skin cells. That you want to concentrate on exfoliating and just getting in the habit of taking care of your skin for the first at least month or 6 weeks. And then you want to focus on vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, and then you can add other products over time. Once you get in the habit of doing that, once you start seeing improvements in your skin, and once you learn about the other products and start addressing the issues you have. I think it's really, really easy for us to get on that train of just buying anything we see when we don't even really know how we're going to use it, where we're going to fit it into our skincare routine, and what is it addressing. So if you don't know when to use it or why you're using it, you're not ready to buy it yet. Just focus on A, B, and C, your moisturizers and sunscreens, good cleansers, and you'll be off to a really good start. Okay, I would tell you about the naturopath I follow, but she's pretty out there. Her name's Penny Kelly. You can find her here on YouTube. She's wonders. She's just amazing. Her videos on health are amazing. She's very, very, woo-woo, but I love her. How do you exfoliate with a mask or a scrub? I use the AHA, BHA from The Ordinary. Again, it's like $7 a bottle. You can get it from Ulta. I use it once a week, Sunday nights. Sunday nights is kind of when I do my things, my extra things. Your daughter took that. Oh, this stuff is so good. Okay, let's see. I also have crazy straight lashes. The only thing I've ever found to curl my lashes and then do a base coat with waterproof. Yeah, waterproof mascara will really keep the curl in your lashes if you have a problem with straight lashes. Let's see. This is from Mariotti. I think that's how you pronounce it. I would like to know about opinions about products for hand and body care for mature skin, moisturizing and lightening. You can use for lightening, you can use the vitamin C serum that I have the recipe for over on the channel. The reason you can use that on your body, if you have like 8 spots on your hand or maybe on your décolleté or areas of your legs, is it's so affordable. Truly, a bottle of the DIY vitamin C is like $1. It's so inexpensive. So it makes it really, really doable to use that for lightening. What I use on my body is I use the Eucerin, the one that has the AHA, BHA in it. That's what I use to exfoliate or keep my skin, the skin cells turning over. And to really make my skin nice and glowy and hydrated, I use the Nivea. I think it's their 48-hour hydrating formula. I get it in the 2-pack, and I always buy at least a couple of 2-packs whenever I get it. And here's something I want to say, you guys. I don't know if you're watching what's going on with trade around the world and the backup, but supply chain is breaking down. I never buy one of anything ever, ever, ever. I'm buying 3 or 4 of things because come fall and winter, we're going to see real shortages. So if there's something that you love and you don't have several backups, you might want to think about that. How do you like the Ordinary vitamin C skin cream? I love it. I really do. I love it. I know a lot of people don't. I love it very, very much. Let's see. So curious, what is that medication, the vitamin C maybe, and what else? Oh, the medication? I don't know what's in here. You can look it up off of Amazon. I would love to read it to you, but I can't see it that well with just my contact in. Okay, next on the list is Dana. I think staying active is important as we get older. It is so important. One thing that naturopath that I was talking about, Penny Kelly, says is that everything that you used to be able to do last year, you should be able to do this year. And that is so true. There's a lot of things that I have started doing every single day that I do it every single day intentionally to make sure that I can do it next year again. One of them is the Primal Squat. Have you guys ever done that? That's where you know how a lot of Asians will squat down all the way with their butt almost hitting the ground, but they're just laying on the back of their calves with their thighs. Trust me, it took me about a month to be able to do that. I had gotten so stiff and just not flexible enough, but now I can do it easily, and I do it every day, a few times a day, just to make sure that I can still do it, because use it or lose it, that's for sure. She says, I am a novice kayaker and would love to hear more about your kayaking experiences. Like, what kind of kayak do you use? What do you wear while you kayak? And other tips you can think of. Okay, kayaking, and I said this in my video, my travel video that I'm going to do. I am so glad that I learned how to kayak. Probably it's been, I think, 10 years now. It has opened up so many doors for me and made my experience of places so much broader and richer and deeper, because seeing someplace from the water or being able to get out on the water is so enriching and so different than seeing it from land. And what I did when I very first started, I just bought a little starter kayak off of Craigslist. I think I maybe paid $200 for it. And I wanted just a little starter kayak to see if I was going to like it. So I started with that, loved it, and have owned several kayaks since. At one point, I owned 3 kayaks, and I was one person. But I wanted to have, one for friends and, that sort of thing. I use a sit-on-top kayak. Mine is a Wilderness Systems Tarpon. It is, the boat that I have now is my dream boat. I splurged. I got the boat of my dreams. I absolutely love it. And the way that I'm able to kayak by myself is I have a rack from Thule that is called a Honeylove. And the way that it works is that it sits on top of my car, and it actually pulls out and down to the side of my car so that my kayak is ended up parallel with my car, so then I can just lift it off the rack and set it on the ground and then put that rack up on top of my car. When I go to put the kayak back on my car, I put it on the rack horizontal to my car and lift it up, and there's hydraulics in that rack. So I'm able to get that up on top of my car, tie it down, and I'm good to go. So I'm able to go anywhere by myself in kayak and not have to have anybody with me. If it turns out that the launch is a ways away from where I can unload my kayak, I have a cart. It folds up. It's in the back of my car. I have one vehicle for my kayaking adventures and one vehicle for my hiking adventures. So my cart stays in the kayak car all the time. I simply put the kayak on the cart, strap it down to the cart with the same straps that I used for my Honeylove, and I just take it on down to the water. So it's really worked well for me. it was so fun for me to be able to go to Florida, and I kayaked a couple of times. I kayaked in the Ocala area. I got corrected on the pronunciation. It's not Ocala, it's Ocala. I kayaked there, and then I also kayaked over in Crystal River with the manatees. It was so fun. So it was so very, very enriching to be able to get out on the water and do that and feel really, really comfortable by myself, not feeling nervous or scared or like I couldn't do it. I felt really, really comfortable. As far as what I wear, that is going to be personal choice. I've kayaked with people who show up in full Gore-Tex. They've got everything. They've got the skirt. They've got everything. I show up in yoga pants and flip-flops. I am not a high-tech kayaker. I'm get in the boat and go out and paddle. So I paddle in yoga pants or shorts. I generally have my bathing suit underneath so I can, park somewhere on a beach. I always take something, a towel to lay on, a blanket to lay on, and it's just so very much fun. So if you're thinking about kayaking, I would really recommend it. I think that it's really, really good for us. It's great for upper body strength. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the more I kayak, I start looking like a linebacker, and then it goes back down over the winter. And then, I get the linebacker shoulders again, as summer kicks in. Crystal River is awesome. I had so much fun there. Where I stayed in an Airbnb on some property with horses and little kittens. And I was in this little cabin all on its own with a swing out front that I would read on in the evenings. Oh, it was so lovely. I was in Ocala. I went over to Crystal River. That's where the manatees were. Yeah, it was fun. Ocala is so cute. I could live there. They had the coolest farmers market. It was just really, really a lovely little town. I actually looked at rentals while I was there. I didn't find anything that fit for me perfectly, and so I ended up coming back home. But it was really a lot of fun. Okay, next question. This is from Marbine. And she wants to know good recommendations on anti-aging serums. I think we've already gone over that, so definitely. How do you find the right color hair to complement your skin? I don't know if I have or not. I've had several hair colors in my life, and as women or anybody these days, we're lucky to be able to do that because you can get so many colors. My hairdresser is fabulous. I go in, she lightens my hair. I love my hairdresser. She rides to work on a Harley. This girl, she just rocks. But the thing that makes it so much better, she colors my hair, but the pollutants in the air and in the water will turn white, or bleached hair yellow. And if you guys look back at some of my videos or some I look, and I'm just horrified at how yellow my hair was because I hadn't learned yet how to keep it not yellow. The big thing that I use is this Malibu Blondes purple shampoo, and you can see it right there. See how that purple is right there? This stuff is the bomb diggity. This really keeps my hair from turning yellow. It's super inexpensive. Again, you can get it off of Amazon. I buy it in the 2-packs. I've got about 4 backups because I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to get it over the winter. So this Malibu Blondes really, it keeps it kind of more the cooler color, but then you can see right along the roots, it's getting a little warmer toned because it's growing out a little bit. But down towards the bottom, it's a little bit more purple. So if you lighten your hair and you want to keep the yellow out, this stuff is really good. This company also makes little packets, and I forget the name of it, but they're little purple packets, and I love those too. And what those do is they strip all the impurities out of your hair. So if you feel like your hair has built up a lot of yellowing or a lot of discoloration, you can use that packet. It's kind of like a little powder, and you put it all over your head and let it sit for about 10 minutes and rinse it out, and it really does clean out all those impurities out of your hair. So this stuff really works for keeping your hair in nice. Okay, you guys, it's confession time. I tell you what, I have gone overboard with the Huda Beauty lipsticks. I bought 2 more when I was on vacation, and I already had just bought 3. I don't know what it is about her lipsticks. There's something about the color. The colors are just so spot on. And I'm telling you what, don't run out and get these. These suckers are expensive. They're like $25 each. But you know what? They're the one thing, I think they're probably pretty much the one makeup item that I splurge on. I just love them so much. I'm wearing the color Rendezvous right now tonight. And I have, let's see, I have Rendezvous, I have Girls Trip, I have Honeymoon. Isn't this pretty? Look at this one. How pretty is that? I love these lipsticks. So I've got those 3 before I left, and then I got 2 more in a Sephora. What town was I in? Oh, you know, I went to the cutest little town. I actually stayed there for 3 nights. It was Rogers, Arkansas. That was the cutest little town. I absolutely loved it. Had a great time there. So this is Buttercup. This is not a matte lipstick. These are more of their satin glosses. So that's Buttercup, and then this is Angel. So you're going to be seeing a lot of Huda Beauty lipsticks in my upcoming videos. I just love them. They're really, really nice quality. Let's see. Can never have enough lipsticks. I know that's my weakness. My weakness is lipsticks. I absolutely just, for me, it's like, they're like little jewels or something. They're just fun. This question is from MJM. And she wants to know, did you take any of your beauty gadgets with you on vacation? Yes. You guys already found out, and I'd used them once. You know what happens to me when I get out of my house is that I'm so focused on going out and doing and seeing that I just can't even be bothered with the whole skincare thing and the devices and that sort of thing. I just want to get out. I just am not focused on my skin. Okay, let's see. Next question here. Okay, it's questions about my road trip. You know, if you thought about doing a road trip, absolutely do it. It's so much fun, you know, and you always meet really, really nice people. And I ate whatever I wanted because calories don't count when you're on vacation and that sort of thing. Okay, this question is from Nancy. How do you fit it all in? Basic care, peels, devices. So many products and devices recommend daily or more than once a week. Thank you for all you do. You know, the daily devices that I use truly take almost no time. And I'll tell you why. Because I fit them in while I'm waiting for something to happen. In other words, I get up in the morning, and the first thing I do is I come out and I turn the water on for my coffee. While the water is boiling, I do a pour over coffee, so I boil my water in the morning. I go sit in front of the red light device. So I'm waiting for the water anyway. I might as well get something done while I'm waiting. So I go sit in front of my red light device, and it's almost magical. When my red light device is done, the water is boiling. It's like it happened almost magically. Then I pour the water into my French press coffee and let the coffee brew. And while I do that, I go do my NIRA. So now I've gotten 2 devices done, and I haven't even really started my day. Then I go and pour my coffee, and while I'm having my first cup of coffee, that's when I do my Nebulyft, and I watch a little YouTube video while I'm doing it. Maybe I watch something on gardening or something on health or nutrition or exercise or something, and then I do my Nebulyft. And you know what? I'm done. I'm done for the day. And I have just then finished my first cup of coffee. So it really doesn't take that long. When I'm done with my Nebulyft, that's when I go and wash my face and I put on all my skincare for the day. And then I'm done. And the day hasn't even really started. So it's not like it takes a lot of time. Now, the things that need to be done in the evening, I have to be honest with you guys, those are the tougher things for me to do because at the end of the day, I'm tired. I'm tired. I've had a full day. My motivation is sapped. I'm not really feeling like it. And usually what I do in the evenings is I either derma roll or I do my micro needling. Now I only do derma rolling once a week, and I only do the micro needling with the Dr. Pin MA once a month. The reason that I want to do it in the evening is important because your body only heals while you're sleeping. And you need to get a good 8 hours of sleep for that healing process to actually be truly effective. So if I'm going to poke little holes in my skin, I want to do it in the evening because then I'm going to sit in front of my red light unit when I'm done, either microneedling or dermarolling, because that's going to help with the healing process for all those little tiny punctures in my skin and help induce that collagen production. I'm going to sit in front of my red light unit and then I'm going to put on some moisturizer and I'm going to go to bed and go to sleep. I don't dermaroll or microneedle in the morning because I'm going to go through that whole day not having that healative, restorative 8 hours of sleep that's really going to help that process be really, really effective. So, I sometimes I just blow it and I don't do it, and I know I should, but then I get tired and I don't want to do it. As far as my microcurrent, my MyoLift, I just do that once a week. Now with the new face doesn't last a week on me. When I was using the new face, I would have to do it at 2 to 3 times a week at least. Sometimes I would do it almost every day. With the MyoLift, the reason I like it so much is, first of all, I use the gloves, which makes it really, really easy to get very, very detailed, and it lasts me for a whole week. Sometimes I go 2 weeks. And when I decide it's time to do it again, is that my eyes will start getting a little bit droopy over my eyelids. That's when I know, oh, it's time to do my MyoLift again. When I do my MyoLift, sometimes I'll get in a real spurt and I'll do my MyoLift 2 or 3 times a week. Oh my gosh, it looks like I've had a cheek lift or something. That thing is so, so very, very effective. Again, the more you use it, the more effective it is. And, unfortunately, I don't do it 2 or 3 times a week. There was a few weeks there that I did it, and somebody said, hey, did you have a cheek lift or whatever? And the answer is no, I didn't. But it really does work. Okay. Oh, thank you. What you were doing differently, but I missed it. Could you repeat what you were doing? And I don't know what you're referring to. I'm really sorry about that, Kim. Let's see. How do you do the ribbon eyelash curler? Oh, okay. Have some ideas. You know, I I used to have some little veining in my anymore. And I'm wondering if light device that has really kept that away. Because when I was in my 50s, my early 50s, I had a lot of spider veining. I don't have any spider veining now. And I'm thinking it's probably the red light unit that's doing that. Don't quote me on that, but that's kind of what I'm suspecting is doing it. Okay, someone asked if have I had, okay, this is from Beth Ann. I have not been kind to my skin. Sister, I am with you. I did not treat my skin well my entire life, so I understand. Starting your routine as soon as it all comes in. Your skin looks great. Thank you very much. Just wondering, have you had any procedures done at the dermatologist? You know what? I haven't. I haven't had anything done. I have not so much, and you guys know this, I have not walked into a doctor's office in 15 years. As far as any Botox or lasers or peels or lifts or anything, I have had none of that. None of that. And when I first started my channel, I sat down and created some criteria for myself. and for you guys too, because I thought, well, maybe other women my age will be interested in this. And what I decided is that I wanted to see if someone who had neglected their skin all their life could fix it. I was 62 then. I'm 64 now. I wasn't sure if it would work, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to try. I thought I made the decision that everything had to be affordable as possible. And truly, the skincare I use is inexpensive. I have not to this day, other than the couple of things that I've mentioned earlier, found any $150, $200 skincare, and I get sent a lot of it. I've got a stack of boxes on the counter that came in while I was gone. None of it works better and sometimes not even as well as the inexpensive stuff that I use and I talk about all the time. Um, Everything I've done had to be affordable and it had to be at home. I wasn't opposed to devices as long as I could do them at home. And I wasn't even sure the devices were going to work because, they tell us that they don't work. Here's where I swear I'm going to do a skincare lives video. If you had showed a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon my neck when I first started and compared it to my neck today, they would tell you, and I predict 99.9% of them would tell you, you could not do that without surgery. Hands down, that's what they would say. You could not do that without surgery. You know what? That's not true. I did it. And here's the thing, it goes back to that studies. How many surgeons, plastic surgeons, have had someone come into their office with a neck that looked like mine when I started, and they said to them, you know what? Why don't you clean up your diet, use some good skincare, use these at-home devices, come back and see me in 2 years, and then let's see if you need a neck lift. That would not happen because nobody's ever done any tests on it. How many people have you seen that have done a skincare program that doesn't include any kind of intervention outside of the home that has followed through and you could see it chronicled over the years? It just doesn't happen. And it's, again, I don't think that they're being untruthful or they're deliberately being misleading. I think that it's just not in their wheelhouse to think that that can happen. And the fact is that if you go back and go back to my channel when you're done, if you're curious, if you want to see, go down to the very, very bottom and look at my very first videos. And then go back up to the very top and look at my videos now. You will see a tremendous difference in my skin and in my neck. And you know what's changed? The only thing that's changed is my skin has gotten healthier. That's it. That's all. Because everything I have done has contributed to making my skin and my body healthier. You don't need to cut into your skin. You don't need to do this or do that or the other thing. Everything that I've done has made my skin healthier. Now, this is one thing I want to say because I've had so many people type comments in that I've gotten a neck lift or an eye lift, upper and lower eye lift. I'll tell you what, girls, if I had paid to have my neck done and it looked like this, I would not be happy because, my neck looks better, but it doesn't look like I got a neck lift. I think that if you saw me in person, you would think that my neck looked okay, but you wouldn't necessarily say, oh my gosh, your neck looks amazing. I think it just looks better. And what I think this teaches us is that we can make things look better. And the other thing, the important thing that I want to say is that particularly for our generation, and I'm assuming if you're here, that you're probably 50 or older, maybe late 40s or older. When we were growing up, it was Noxema and go to bed. That's all we had. We didn't have The Ordinary, the Inky List, Dermatology. We didn't have all these companies with all these incredibly effective products at really affordable prices that we could use. They just didn't exist. But now we do. And the thing is that if you look at my before pictures, that didn't need to happen. Because if I had started on the products that are available today when I was in my 20s, my skin never would have gotten to the point that it got to. So that women today, it's like I look at the women that are 20 or 30, they're going to look amazing when they get in their 60s and 70s because there's so much out on the market that really keeps your skin healthy. And we know so much more about diet and exercise and all those things. At least I hope we're learning more about it, that we never ever have to get to the point where we feel like our skin doesn't look healthy or it doesn't look bright and fresh and good. So that's my soapbox on that one. Yeah. Dry brushing. I've never done dry brushing. I want to learn about dry brushing. Thank you, Blue Star. I appreciate that. Do I have high blood pressure? No, I don't. Why do you ask? I'm curious about that. Do I derma roll my neck and chest? The answer is yes. I wish I did it more. I do, when I do my Dr. Pin, I do it down my neck. Okay, let's see. Okay, the last question I have here on my phone is, have you ever looked into clean beauty? And I think that is such an important question right now, particularly. And it's becoming more and more important to me personally because, I think that we're learning, we are as a civilization, as a country, as a nation, as a world, we're learning so much more about the importance of paying attention to our health and paying attention to our bodies and making sure that we have a robust immunity system and making sure that we eat right and we exercise and we get sunshine and vitamin D and we get all those things. And I think that based on what I'm seeing is that pretty soon, and I think sooner rather than later, it's going to all be clean beauty. I think that there is a tidal wave coming across the nation and the world about what we put in our bodies, what we put on our bodies, and how we treat our bodies, and how important it is that we really keep functioning at the highest level. So the answer is, have I thought about clean beauty? I think about it a lot. And I think that as time goes on, I will start really focusing on selecting products that I think are really helpful in all areas. I'm not there yet. And I know that so many of you know so much more about it than I do. So I'm very, very open to hearing from you. I learn so much from you guys. You guys are amazing. You are like the best. I get so many helpful notes from you, so many helpful emails, and so many things that I've done. Even on my trip to Florida, one of you said, go to Crystal River and go kayaking with the manatees. I was like, what? That sounds great. And that's what I did. I learned so much from you guys, and I'm so grateful for that. It's just been a lot of fun for me. And you guys are the best. I just have the best viewers, and all of you too. Okay, I have a couple more things in my show and tell box. Somebody had asked about moisturizers. And the answer is there's a lot of great moisturizers out there. There really, really are. However, the two that I'm loving right now are both from Tony Moly. You can see them right here. You can get them off of Amazon. I've got them linked in the description box. The one that I use for the day, and I tell you, I love this. You can see how much I loved it. I have gone through so many bottles of these, and I need to pull out my backup on this one. This is their green tea, Choc green tea watery lotion. This is like a drink of water for my skin. This is what I use during the day. I'll do all my skincare and then I'll wait probably about 3 to 5 minutes before and let my skincare sink in, and then I'll put this on. And this is the green tea, the Choc green tea watery cream. This is more of a thicker, and I'll use this at night. And I like both of these. They're both really affordable. This one's a little bit more. I think this one's about $25. And gosh, I don't know, $15, something like this. So these are the ones that I really, really love. So those are what I'm using right now. But just because I like something doesn't mean that there aren't a whole bunch of other really wonderful products. There really are so many great products out on the market. I mean, there's a lot of overhyped, super expensive, ridiculous stuff, which is silly. But there's a lot of really good stuff too. And I'm always loving to hear about what you guys are using and loving and what's really, really working for you. So Leah says, I try to use as many non-toxic products as possible, always cruelty-free. Yeah, eat as clean as I can as well. And I feel skin definitely shows it. Talking about eating, someone had messaged me asking if I was a vegetarian. And the answer is no, I'm not a vegetarian. However, the meat that I do consume, and I don't consume a lot of meat, but I do eat meat about 2 or 3 times a week, I get from organically, sustainably grown farms. I don't buy the meat in the stores. I'm becoming very, very distrustful of a lot of the food available out on the market. And I'm very, very careful about what I eat now. And I really learned that lesson a while back when I remember I met that nutritionist in Montana. She told me to eat organic and take Restore. And the difference in my body from when I stopped eating regular produce to organic produce was significant, as well as using the Restore. Restore's been rebranded. It's Ion Biome. That stuff was amazing on my trip, and I'll explain that in just a minute. But I eat all organic fruits and vegetables, and I order online from a farm that raises their own beef and pork, and then I get my chicken from another company, and then I get my seafood from a company called Wild Alaskan, and I order their seafood. So I don't buy any of the stuff in the stores. I just I think cleaning up our food supply is something that needs to be done. I'm worried about a lot of the foods in the grocery store because they're not food. I would say that 80% of what's in the grocery store isn't food. So fish and meat from grocery stores is very scary. You know, it's sad to say, but I kind of agree with that. Okay, when I was on vacation, I ate sugar. I haven't eaten sugar in a long time, and I ate whatever I wanted. I really did. I had a lot of good Southern food. Oh my gosh, you Southerners know how to eat, I'll tell you what. So I had a great time on vacation, but what happens when I eat like that is I tend to get really puffy, and I just don't feel good. So I took my Restore with me, or my Ion Biome, and I usually take 1 to 2 teaspoons a day when I'm at home. When I'm traveling and eating things that I don't normally eat. I mean, I had carrot cake one night. It was so good. I take a lot more of that, and it really kept the puffiness away. And you know what? I ate whatever I wanted while I was gone. I even got some little cheesecakes from the farmer's market in Ocala. They were little individual ones. They were so good. I thought, I bet you when I get home, I will have gained 7 or 8 pounds. You know, I was gone 3 weeks. I ate whatever I wanted. I did exercise I did take some stuff to exercise with. I did exercise some. I thought, I'm going to probably be up 7 or 8 pounds by the time I get home. I got home, hadn't gained a pound, which was amazing because I really did eat whatever I wanted. So I really credit the Ion Biome with that. It is a really, really strong probiotic and really helps keep your body cleaned out. It doesn't hold on to all those chemicals and all that stuff that makes us all puffy and just not look like we want to look. Do you prefer ordinary vitamin C serum versus your DIY? You know what? Right now, the vitamin C serums that I really like are the one in the lotion suspension from the Ordinary. I think it's the 23%. I really like that. A lot of people don't, so keep that in mind. A lot of people don't like it at all. I love it. And my DIY, I like them both equally. There's just something about that product that I just love it. It's just wonderful. Let's see, very affected. Okay. Actually, Denise says, I actually healed my thyroid and menopause symptoms. Oh, I just lost it. Oh, golly. Okay. Yeah. Bex is saying a lot of fish in the stores come from foreign waters with mercury. That's true. We've really got to clean up the air and the water and the food supply because we want to be healthy and happy a long time into the future. How many times a day do you take Restore? When I'm home and I'm eating really healthy, I'll take it 1 or 2 times a day. I'll take it first thing in the morning before I have my coffee, and then I may have it like before my main meal of the day again. Other than that, that's all I needed. But on my vacation, I took it a lot more. MyoLift or Nebulyft? They're different things. MyoLift is microcurrent, and Nebulyft is radio frequency. And if you're curious and you want to find out more about the different devices, I know it can be super confusing. I did a whole video on the devices I use and what each one of them does. So you can figure out, okay, what's microcurrent and what's it going to do for me and how does it work and how do I actually do it? and what is radio frequency, what is it going to do for me, how does it work, and how do I actually do it. So there's a video over there called devices, all about devices, something like that. It explains everything super easy for you to understand. All right, you guys, I think we're about an hour in. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how excited I was about getting together with all of you. I appreciate you so much, and I learned so much from you, and I'm just grateful for that. If you are curious about something, or if you're looking for a video for a particular topic, email me at prettyover50@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you, and I'm always happy to investigate different areas for us to learn more about so that we can be pretty over 50, which is always fun. Thanks so much for joining me. You guys are the best, absolutely, and I appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you were able to join me tonight. Take care, be well, and I'll see you on Sunday morning. I've got a good, fun Get Ready With Me for you then. All right, take care. I'll see you next time. Bye now.